Hello, my name is Corinne, and this is the assignment for week 17. So just went ahead and followed all the instructions, starting with printing the questions to the browser using console.log. Just copy and pasted all of the questions and made sure I included like the proper quotes, including using double quotes if there were already single quotes in the question to the console.log command and then went through, followed all the instructions as syntactically as possible, just beginning with making an array and printing those out and also practicing labeling them. I followed the example of the walkthrough and printed out a lot of test consoles just to track my progress and kind of test things out, see how things worked. Um, and basically, thankfully using other answers to some of these questions to help answer some of these ones, like identifying the last element in an array with the dot length function, as well as getting the first one by indicating the zero index. And anytime a question said to use a loop to iterate, I of course went for the for loop. Um, that's the best one I know how. So I got real familiar with these for loops to especially to add things up and getting creative with where I made the operations go in order to print out the proper answer. So just real quick, I'll skip down to what I did all by myself, which was keeping it really simple on question 13, just calculating the tip percent or the tip amounts from like a meal. Um, yeah, so basically all I did was create this function, had it named it what I wanted it to be. How do you get the tip amount? You take the tip percent that you want and you multiply it by the total bill. So that's the operation that I had the function return. And these were the parameters that I passed into the function in order to get the final tip amount, which is printed right here. And so practicing with the arrays, especially using the for loop in order to get the right answers, took a lot of time, took a lot of help from the walkthrough, but at least with these comments that they helped me kind of figure out what exactly was going on in the walkthrough and why it was happening and sort of helped informed some other decisions that I made along the way. Like another one that was pretty simple was like creating the first name or the full name, creating the variable that basically tells what you want those parameters to do and how you want it to print based on what you pass into it. And again, like kind of following the syntax of what was being asked. So if I see if that in the question, that basically tells me that I should probably use an if loop in there somewhere. So practicing building these different loops on top of each other within the function was pretty interesting, as well as being able to print like, different examples of different kinds of conditions you could pass into the functions. And I gotta say, there were a couple things that I didn't quite understand. Like, for instance, I'm used to using return whenever you use a function, but it seemed like in the examples, return wasn't always used, like in this function, based on the example from the walkthrough. So I would be curious about, why use return sometimes, but not others, because I found sometimes uh, if I tried it myself first, if I used return, it wouldn't be correct. But then based on the walkthrough, if I didn't use return, it would be correct. So I just like to learn a little bit more about what exactly it is return does when you need it and when you don't need it. But yeah, that's basically it. I did use a lot of help from the walkthrough. I did use a lot of help from Google and experimented a lot of different ways. Got confused with like, just making basic typos, but that is pretty much everything in assignment 7. And I'm sure the comments will explain a little more in detail. So thank you.